The Plaine-William sewage project was to be implemented in 3 lots. The honourable member is referring to Lot 1A, which in the initial contract covered the regions of Stanley, Palma, Huguenin, Bassin, Trèfle, and Victoria. The concept, design, and tender documents for the entire Plaine-William sewage project, developed by the consultant Montgomery Watson in 2003, consisted only of a general site survey without detailed topographical service study and without house surveys. On 19 October 2009, with the approval of the Central Procurement Board, Wastewater Management Authority awarded the contract for Lot 1A to the joint venture Timian Holdings, GBR, and Sotravic Limité for 2,842,498,362 rupees and 59 cents, including VAT. That is about 2.85 billion rupees. Works which included 102 kilometers of street sewer, 13,000 house connections, and replacement of 50 kilometers old CWA pipes were expected to be completed in May 2014. In 2011, the contractor claimed that there was an increase in the length of pipes from 102 kilometers to 142 kilometers. On 20 July 2012, without obtaining financial clearance, the board of the Wastewater Management Authority approved an increase in price from 2.85 billion rupees to 3.9 billion rupees, almost 4 billion rupees. I will give the exact figures. From the figure I just quoted, 2,842,000,000, etc., to 3,940,326,977 rupees. And the extension of the contractual date was given from 31 May 2014 to 10 November 2017. And in August 2012, the Wastewater Management Authority made a request for additional funds. In his 2012 report, the Director of Audit noted that project cost will increase by some 864 million, had detailed house-to-house survey and detailed topographical survey done prior to inviting tenders for the project, it could have the following effects. With a well-defined scope of works, competitive prices could have been obtained from several potential bidders for each aspect of the works. Moreover, in this project, the surveys were carried out by the contractor after the award of contract. Thus, the contractor carried out survey of works to be done by himself. End of quote. That was from the Director of Audit. The Ministry of Finance and Economic Development stated that in view of the fact that Wastewater Management Authority projects are experiencing significant cost overruns, the parent ministry should, that is my ministry, should carry out an overall project design, implementation and management to understand, and I quote from the Ministry of Finance of the time, to understand why the initial project targets have not been met and why house connections have been done when there are no streets sewers. House connections were therefore being made to non-existing street sewers. Despite these observations, on 4 November 2014, the Wastewater Management Authority instructed the consultant to issue the variation order for, about the date, 4 November 2014, for the net amount of 3,920,360,438 rupees 42, exclusive of value-added tax. The cost overrun represented 40% of the original contract value, which was not in compliance with the Public Procurement Act. At the end of the project, only 6,800 houses instead of 13,000 had been connected to the public sewer. It is not surprising, therefore, that in the report of the Public Accounts Committee of 2018, signed by Honourable Mrs. Perrault, the committee noted with concern the cost increase in this project. It remarked that the officers of the Wastewater Management Authority concurred with the PAC that, I quote, the scope of the bid was open to abuse as the value of the works was based on a design that had to be prepared and finalized by the contractor after the award of the contract. It concluded, the PAC, signed by Honourable Perrault, very reasonably concluded that there was gross negligence both at the level of the parent ministry and at that of the WMA in assessing the scope and value of works prior to inviting bids for the project. This increase in alleged costs, I must stress, occurred before this present government took office and at a time when the PMSD and the Labour Party were in charge of the authority. In March 2015, after taking note of the observations of the Director of Audit, government recommended to Wastewater Management Authority that the contract be closed, with the completion of works initiated on the northern part of the areas with an increase of 285,120,386 rupees and 40 cents, representing a variation of 10% of the original contract price. With regard to the second part of the question, I am informed by the WMA that it is considering the implementation of sewer works in the regions of La Source.
Order, please.
In the regions of La Source, Palma, Route Bassin, Western Boundary, Sini-Bassin, Monseigneur Line, Rotin, Pushpas Avenue in phases. It is presently carrying out surveys at Route Bassin, Ramdali Lane and Jackson Avenue.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I am glad that Madam Speaker, I'm glad that the Deputy Prime Minister is so good at rocking a lot of muck. And I hope some doesn't spread upon him. Do not spread upon him. Now, do not spread upon him. May I invite him, under those circumstances, to start an inquiry, but in the meantime, there's a lot of inconvenience being caused to inhabitants of Palma, Quatre-Bornes, and Bassin. This is the concern. You're leaving people with a lot of inconvenience. There's overflow of wastewater, and instead of addressing the problem, you're trying to play hot politics. Set up an inquiry if you're a man of good intention.
We have understood your question. Yes.
I am the First, I am the first to agree that a great degree of inconvenience has been caused by the gabegies of the Labour Party PMSD government. What they are doing now, it will take more time, but we won't fleece. We won't fleece. We won't fleece public money in the manner that we have here. This is not. This is what is happening. Is that?
Can we have some order in the House, please? What is being debated is some serious matter. Don't make it become trivial. Yes. Yes.
Madam, heckling may be the profession of some of the honourable members, but I'm only giving the facts and the figures. And I've been quoting from reports of learned people, the Director of Audit, the Public Accounts Committee, the Ministry of Finance. There's no need to be upset. You were not responsible for wastewater. You were, unless you participated in that rigmarole. To be serious, Madam Speaker, what is being done, instead of spending huge amounts on a vast project, the Wastewater Management Authority is doing small connections, house to house, and it's developing very well without cost overruns or time overruns, and the work is being done satisfactorily. And I agree that there is a consequence to that. It is the delay in completing the works. I fully agree with this, but we need to continue on that score.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have got a wider concerns than Honourable Boolell on this question, and it's a wider public interest question, and we should not be laughing it off just like this in this House.
What's the question?
The question is, Madam Speaker, given that there has been an increase of over 50% in the procurement process, and we know that under the Public Procurement Act, if it is more than 25%, we have to 35%, it has to be put for tendering. Can I ask, in the circumstances of this particular matter, whether the Minister is prepared now to initiate appropriate action and an inquiry be put forthwith so that we can know whether the taxpayers' money has been fleeced in this matter?
Well, we know that the taxpayers' money has been fleeced. The honourable member is rejoining with the honourable fourth member for Quatre-Bornes, asking for an inquiry. But mind you, if I may, Madam Speaker, the reports which I have quoted talk of gross negligence. They did not talk of any fraud. So before we just, the honourable member was saying spreading mud and all that. Before we just cast aspersions and accuse people of fraud, we've got to be careful. There has been, for the moment, gross negligence. If prima facie evidence of fraud were to surface, of course that would have been a different matter.